So if you haven't seen one of these, this is a top squat by Dave Draper. And the reason I'm putting this video together is because there are very few reviews online other than Dave Draper himself reviewing the product, which is good. He shows you how to use it, but there's just some stuff that's missing in there. So I want to show you a little bit on how this thing is, how it works. I really like it. Spoiler, it's a positive review that I have. So just to show you a little bit about how to use it. The first thing you do is you just put it onto the bar, center it, and then you can move it around back and forth. Now, I'll show you in the video, we'll break it down a little bit, but it's not real secure just sitting on the bar like this. So between sets, you're either gonna wanna take it off and set it down and just reset it for the next set, or you're gonna wanna use these Velcro straps that come with it. And you can actually wrap those around it. One of the important things to note about it is it's made of steel, nice hard metal. So that metal is gonna be on your back. You're gonna have a lot of control as to where you put the metal, so it's not gonna be digging into your bones or anything like that, but it is not a soft material. That's one of the things I wasn't sure about when I was ordering it. The material inside here is kind of a hard foam, and it's wide enough to where, at least the couple of bars that I'm using in the gym that I train people, the bar is gonna be narrower than the foam, so it's not gonna fit real securely in there. It's gonna sit nicely as long as it's balanced, but if the bar starts rolling back, the thing's gonna come off of there and it's gonna fall. I have that a little bit later in this video. I would recommend this for anybody who's got shoulder issues that keep them from pulling their arms back into this position and holding the bar on your back. Especially if you like the bar lower on your back so that you can get more of a forward lean in your squat. That's the way that I squat. I do low bar squats. A lot of people that I train are over 55, 60 years old. And a lot of them just have shoulder injuries or wear and tear on their shoulders where they can't pull the arms back. So that's one of the main purposes for having these. If that's not the case with you, you probably don't need this. You could buy it just to get the variety, but the people who really need it are the people that have shoulder issues that keep them from pulling their arms back, or people that for some reason just can't get in the position of holding the bar on their back. There's just a little bit more close-up of how it looks on the inside. You can see the foam added with some kind of adhesive on the inside of the metal. So this whole thing is made of metal. Nice looking, real hard foam. Looks like it'll stand up to a beating. Nicely made, cool, industrial looking. So not only can you squat safely without hurting your shoulders, but you can look like a badass. This is the shoulder position that gives a lot of people issues, especially if you're doing a low bar squat. It even bothers a lot of people with a high bar squat. You can see my hands are pulled back, my elbows are pulled back. And if you adjust it even a little bit lower for a low bar squat, or you pull your hands in more to get it tight, that position right there does not work for a lot of people. If you cannot comfortably get in that position, or if your shoulders kill you every time you do it, it might be a good choice to try the top squat. So what you do is you center the thing, put it onto the bar, and make sure you're holding it as you're getting set up. Don't lift the handles up too high in the setup without pushing into it, or the thing is going to fall. It might sound terribly obvious, but you're just not thinking about it sometimes when you're trying a new piece of equipment. Set it up by getting it on the softest part of your back that you can. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. That'll give you a little muscle for the bar to press into. Squat the bar out of the rack. Don't stagger your feet. Step back, set your stance, get ready to squat. Now as you squat, the movement is going to be hips back, elbows forward, hands up. So you're actually slightly lifting the handles as you're still pulling the bar down into your back. As I do this, my elbows go forward far enough to where they almost touch my knees, or they basically touch my knees at the bottom. Then as I come back up, I'm pulling my hands and elbows back in toward my body. Show you a couple more reps just to show the movement. Elbows come back as you stand up, they push forward as you go down. This helps to balance the bar on your back, and it keeps your hands and arms in a good position. And if you don't know this already, you need to walk it straight into the uprights. Don't twist your head side to side, and try to delicately place it on top of the holder. Walk it into the uprights. Once it touches the uprights, slide down. It'll already be in position. Take it off the bar and set it down in between sets. This is just a different angle so that you can see the placement of the top squat on my back. So again, same exact deal. You set it up, center it. Make sure you're pushing it into the bar as you set up, otherwise it's going to fall on you. It's going to hit you on the head when you duck under the bar.
You can see I still have my shoulder blades squeezed together to create some muscle that the bar rests on. You'll see it when I go down into my squat. Watch the elbows and the hands slightly move forward, almost like I'm reaching them for my knees. And then as I stand up, I'm going to pull them back in toward me as I straighten up my body. And just make sure to stand all the way up at the top, just like a regular squat. The bar was not real comfortable lower on my back. Felt like it was going to slide, maybe because of the kind of metal, because of the combination of my shirt being a slicker material and the metal. So I rode it up in the high bar position. That just felt better. These are the straps again that come with it, just so you can see me put them on. Very easy. You don't have to be a real technical genius to figure this one out. I'd recommend if you're doing a full squat workout, just put the straps on. It'll take you, as you can see me here, about an extra 30 seconds to do it. But you won't have to set the bar down, the top squat down, and pick it up every single time. You just leave it on the bar, get out from under the bar when you're done, especially on the heavy sets. You don't want to mess around with setting the thing down and picking it up. Sounds like a very small task, but it will make it easier. Here's what's going to happen. If you just set the bar down and back away like you normally would after a set of squats, it's going to fall off like that. Well, I like the top squat. I think it's a viable option to a safety bar that's significantly less expensive. This cost me about $176 with shipping and everything. I'll put a link in the description box. Get one if you've been considering it. I would recommend it. Highly recommended for people with shoulder injuries. Go ahead and grab it.